Took Spyreton all by yourself, huh? I prefer...
Touching reunion between mother and child. Never thought such a thing could be engineered between the beasts. Fascinating.
You the doctor in charge here?
Indeed I am, soldier. And my, what a picture you are. What exquisite graft work. Might I trouble you for an examination?
So you're the one who butchered my friend, Ortiz. The one who tortured those creatures out there. Who killed that soldier.
What's going on? I don't know any Ortiz, I swear it. I'm just a doctor. Please, don't shoot. Records? I don't know of any such... Oh, bother. Fine, yes, I did complete a procedure on one Trooper Ortiz, along with 2 others. He eagerly offered himself up for this project's first human trials. Rather hasty in hindsight. I know what you're thinking. Yes, the grafting program was officially shuttered 6 months ago. That was not a lie. But I thought it a shame, and it seems I wasn't alone in that. I was recruited for this unofficial venture soon after. Don't understand the need for secrecy myself, but our sponsor demanded it. I dared not ask too many questions. He's some manner of executive. I don't know his name or official title, I swear. My orders came down the long, long chain of command. I'm only doing what I was told.
Enough with the excuses. You absolute wretch. Any scientist with any shred of decency would have refused your position. Your precious data is nothing compared to those you killed.
I sympathize with your friend, soldier. Truly, I do. But if I mourned every failure within these walls, I might never operate again. You must understand that the work we do here is greater than any one life. We can change the galaxy for the better. If you require convincing that my experiments have led to many breakthroughs, witness me. My own lungs would have failed without my prototyping of a device to keep me alive.
That device any good at stopping a bullet?
Enough with the threats of violence. Listen here, if you choose to brutalize me, all of my research and knowledge will be gone, forever. The suffering you've seen here will be nothing in comparison to the suffering I could prevent. Do you truly want to be the one to stand in the way of progress? It's been a long time coming, but I believe I've laid the groundwork for treating injury and illness far better than modern medicine can manage. We are on the precipice of regrowing limbs that had been lost in accidents, reversing brain trauma, nerve damage, mayhaps aging one day. It would be a boon to humanity, and a boon to Auntie's bottom line.
Don't even start, Commander. I ain't keen on anything this man sells.
Let's not be hasty. I see your graft is a result of revision surgery. Your first go was botched, and you were considered a failure of the program, yes? I know what happened to those failures. Demoted, disgraced. It was horrible business. And yet, you still wear our colors. You want to reclaim your station, don't you?
You don't know anything about what I want. I'm not sure I should. If I accept such a bribe, what does that make me? Whether I want to regain my position or not doesn't matter. I don't want your help. I will not benefit from the pain of others.
You think there were no victims of the first program? That your existence isn't built off the bones of those who came before? You're no more righteous than I. You simply looked away. Now, if you stay your hand, I will grant you 2 state-of-the-art grafting parts. They cannot fail. Install one of them, and you'll see my earnest intent. You were never the broken thing they made you, soldier. If you wish it, you may still become a most extraordinary specimen.
No, no. Stop talking. Stay there. Don't make any stupid moves, understand? The adults need to have a talk over here. Commander, I don't know what to do. I came here intending to make him pay for what he's done. And I can't shake the reasons I've seen to burn this place to the ground. But what if he's right? What if something in his work is worth saving? What if this is my chance to make something of my life? To be accepted again? I think you have the right of it. You felt that rage with me, Commander, back there in the lab with the soldier. Even now, we can see what could have been. I trust you more than anyone, I think. The fact you're of the same mind only bolsters my inclination. Now, I ain't condoning what happened here. I won't disrespect Ortiz or the other victims as such. But if we continue this research, know that it cannot, must not be like this. We can trust Doc Tinsley to set things right. One can only know goodness if they're led by example. But if this doctor doesn't take direction, we'd only be repeating the cycle. We would be complicit. Yes, I know. Too much is riding on conditions, but that doesn't mean I can't try. For every person helped, it could make this all worth it. It's your lucky day. You'll live. Pack up your things and head straight to Fairfield to Doc Tinsley. You want to continue your work, you'll follow her lead.
Thank you, soldier. Thank you. I won't forget this, I swear. I'll unlock the cases for you now, as promised. Take the graphs you like and let me know how they work out, won't you?
Make no mistake, I ain't doing this for my own gain. If you say you can help other folk, you best deliver on that promise. Let's get out of here before I change my mind.
There. The grafts are yours.
Any news from the field? Any further progress? Well, excellent. Good show. I'll rest a bit easier tonight. Not as blissfully oblivious to our struggles as others here, mind you, but better. Anyhow, here's your reward. Pleasure doing business with you.
Have an update about that personal matter. You know, the one that might, end the universe. The other universe-ending thing. Back at Winter's Grasp, I found someone was continuing Anais, Sir Bujold's research. Believe I have a lead on their identity. I wholly agree. I pieced together information from earlier leading to Golden Ridge on Dorado. Oddly enough, to the anchor hold at Matriarch's Mercy Monastery. I had Val set the location on our map. I recognize we're juggling multiple crises, but I'd suggest we journey there sooner than later. Inquire away. I may even respond. Presiding Bishop Orlo, yes, Ruth Bazaar's predecessor. And better. Now there was a scientician. A true adherent to Order principles. Ran an efficient operation to boot. For a while, I'd hoped all this recent brouhaha, the schism, invasion, the rifts, was part of some long-foreseen predictive plan on her part. Something oblique only at the moment. The more time passes, the less I'm inclined to give the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I'm missing a few key variables. Or maybe she's a bit mathematically challenged. Are you asking me to reveal details of high-level covert operations? For the former head of the Order? To you, an agent for another party? I doubt you're willing to offer me a thorough accounting of your past assignments. And I bet the Earth Directorate had you on all sorts of clandestine initiatives. I'm not saying never, but we only just met, dear. Trust takes time. Because all the good mathematical terms were already taken by my predecessors? Because nothing gets past me, someone once thought, perhaps. I'm sure I don't know, dear. Whoever came up with that particular sobriquet is surely long since dead and buried. Hopefully by my hand. I'm not hearing a question. More than anyone alive, I suppose. Not that I agree with all of her stated conclusions. In our time at the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection, I gained many colleagues. But the work had cognitive demands. Let's say I possessed more associates than friends. She needn't have worried, though. I have recently come to appreciate personal connection. Theoretically. In a typically roundabout fashion, more or less. Not sure how she concluded that so quickly, but it was a reasonable hypothesis based on available data. I mean, of course I know who I am. Or that is, I know who I was. Who I am now is a work in progress. A revise and resubmit. Suppose you can ask. Very well. Never minded.
choose just any choice when you can choose Auntie's choice?
I've been bartering with defectors. Traded one force rocket for a whole tin of prestige force glow. Straight up.
A lot of fresh blood in the talent pool around here with these protectorate defectors. Not sure how I feel about that, except that I hate it.
Welcome, welcome. How can I improve your day? I'm sure. Welcome, welcome. See anything you like?
Ah, Inez. Have you come back for a tune-up? I've got just the injection for that. Freezes those pesky muscles right back into place.
No, yeah, a tune-up sounds good. I actually brought a few other grafting parts with me, if you reckon my arm can handle a stitch or two.
Oh, these are pristine indeed. Is this of an ursopod? My, I haven't seen one of those in many years. Oh, and a mantis swarm hive. The hunting must be good wherever you ran off to.
Yeah, you could say that. Since Doc's given her blessing, which do you reckon I go with? The ursopod's mucus gland could absorb some incoming damage, if you don't mind getting a little sticky. The mantis swarm hive, however, would be best for crowd control. Say the word, and I'll sick these little guys on any enemy in our vicinity. I'm intrigued by either option, really. Then I'll choose the same. Just refrain from any slug jokes.
Ursopod is a wonderful choice. Hold still, dear. There. I dare say you won't be needing any tune-ups in the near future. But I do trust you'll find an excuse to come by for the occasional visit. By the by, where did you find these parts? What is it, dear? You look, well, a bit like you've been stung by a terror ray. I've got ointment for that too, you know.
There's a grafting lab way out on Cloister that was still operational. Till recently. I found it, Doc. And... Law. I ain't seen any horrors like that.
Still operating? Inez, do you feel all right? The program was shut down more than 6 months ago. Any further funding would be in direct violation of Auntie's orders.
I know what I saw. They were brutalizing folk and creatures. Paying them no mind, giving them no honor, even if they succumb to the process. The doctor there, he killed a friend of mine. And you're telling me you knew nothing of it?
Inez, I swear I didn't. That sounds... Oh, Sovereign's mercy, that sounds precisely like what I would protest with every breath.
The creatures they were experimenting on broke out of their cages, killed most of the staff. But you know what's worse? Keeping a dead soldier's body on display. Like a thing. I found the doctor in charge, still alive. We spoke briefly, and I allowed him to live. On the condition that he redeems himself and uses his research for good.
But this ain't the extent of it, I fear. I need to find out who's responsible for all the...
Oh, Inez, I know you do. But with the program officially shuttered, it would be awfully difficult to ascertain which individual has the pockets to fund such a... Wait. Yes, that does shed light on a correspondence I received recently. A vice president sent a message asking for my presence and scientific expertise to discuss a unique opportunity. I found the secrecy odd at the time, but I do suppose it lines up with your discovery.
Ain't surprising. What's his name? Where can we find him?
His name is Willard Conan, VP of Experimental Operations. The very man who was in charge of the grafting program at its inception. He's... Oh, I know that look. If you mean to do something, I beg you.
I just mean to have a little chat. I will be asking Willard to reform the grafting program. You heard from Dr. Rasmussen, right? I spared him and his research for this purpose. If there's good to be had from the program, then Willard needs to invest in that good. And you're my first choice to lead the new program.
You honor me. I did receive a message from a Rasmussen, yes. He is on his way with research to hand over to me. But it would bring purpose back into my work. All of Fairfield knows as well as I that I've been craving it for some time. And if it helps folk like Inez, I will help you. Vice President Conan's office is aboard the Undisputed Claim, the flagship of Auntie's Choice. I do not know where exactly, as I've never been, but it's my understanding that you will need to present this calling card to gain entry. Inez, what you are doing is noble, and I wish you the greatest of successes.
Thank you, Doc. Now, you get those grafting tools ready, because I ain't intending to fail.
We got the intel we need, Commander. The Undisputed Claim's our destination. If we find this Willard and convince him to use this grafting research for folks' betterment, well then, all this hurt we've seen will have counted for something.
You can. Heinous ascetic without Auntie's choice.
Commander, I've been thinking. Can I bend your ear a moment? Been doing some thinking about what happened in the lab. I went there to kill that man for what he did to Ortiz, and instead let him walk away with his research. Didn't realize till I saw the lab what a fool I was. All for thinking that company folk gave a damn about each other. Even so, I still reckon we got a real shot of making things better. Auntie's choice can't be trusted on their own with this research, that's clear. But if someone like me were to guide them, maybe they can be shaped into what I thought they were. If they could actually help folk like they claimed they would when they liberated Tau Ceti, it'd make life better for anyone. Elsewise, there'll only be more victims in their wake. Ain't just saying that, are you? Ortiz sent me a message because he knew I would take action, that I'd remedy the betrayal both of us faced. If he were here now, he'd understand, I think. Are you with me? Thanks, Commander. Maybe this is what folk mean by the architects setting things in motion. If I hadn't broken my contract, I wouldn't be here. Maybe proving myself was never the intention. Maybe this is what I was meant to do. Let's just see what Willard's got to say, all right?
I'm going to lend a hand at the exclusion zone. Tend to the injured as I can.
I thought the paradigm is a self-centered derivative take on the grand plan. That's how little the Protectorate respects your intellect.
Operating on civilians is not so different from cutting into a primal.
expected values, and standards.
Oh, I didn't expect us to wander into the scene of a murder, but somehow I'm not entirely surprised. Anomalous events have a way of spreading, multiplying. We should find a way inside. There might be clues to what happened, and where Anais's research is now. They should have been sealed in that room to focus on their studies uninterrupted. No one in or out. I'd suspect the missing anchorite knows something, at least. We should ask her. Might be some signs in there of where she went. The terminal at Winter's Grasp said Anais' work was sent here. There might be signs of that, or where the missing anchorite got off to. We should keep looking. There may be more to learn here. I've had a chance to look around. You seem like you've done a thorough sweep. We should discuss what we've uncovered. Poor thing. Blunt force trauma to the occipital lobe, I believe. Possible signs of an altercation. Might have been an accident. Might not have been. Hard to say with just a superficial glance. At the very least, her cloister mate Anchor's Brunn has some explaining to do. A disputation of current order methodology focuses mainly on our presiding bishop, but saves ample room for the laureate council and previous regime as well. I believe I got the gist by efficiently skimming. The general concern is that the order has lost its way. My old department is repeatedly mentioned in a favorable light. Anais' work is regarded highly. I saw that. I believe it was Anchoress Chow's diary. Spoke about regular visits by an exemplar Southworth, who requested access to Anais' work. Chow seemed worried they were conspiring about something. That they'd mentioned an old order research station. That old research facility seems the most likely spot to look next. I know the coordinates on Eden. Place by the name of Point Obviation. I don't know what happened to Anchoress Chow, but leaving a body behind is suspicious, and the disputation reads like a call to arms for any fringe thinkers in the Order. There's no destroying the copies at this point, I'm afraid. We're past that. The research is out there. We need a way to keep anyone from taking it up further in the future. If we go in guns blazing from here, it will only continue. We need a plan to annihilate the idea. This is the exact sort of work we did at the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection. Diverting problematic events. We learned how to best respond once things begin to spread. We developed tactics at the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection to minimize unforeseeable consequences. We can discuss once we see the situation on the ground. Fair enough. I understand we're juggling multiple crises.
Yes. You may peruse.
in all manner of perambulation. Don't know who you all are, but unexpected guests are categorically unwelcome here. How'd you even find this place? Maybe I should just shoot you and glean details from your logs.
Ah, Exemplar, if I may. Surely you recognize such a notable member of our cohort, Marisol Delgado. The end point?
I can't recall if I ended whoever came up with that name. Surely hope so.
You were head causality intercessor of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection, right up till the end, correct?
More or less.
Well, what a fortuitous alignment of low probability events this is. Our efforts here are based on your former department. You should confer with Anchoress Brunn straight away. No. As the brain of this operation, she usually leaves that sort of work to Exemplar Southworth here.
Anchoress Brunn caked in blood. That's quite amusing. But no, I escorted her here myself, and surely would have noticed. We actually sought to find you and others of your program, Intercessor Delgado. A serendipitous event, you arriving. Nonetheless, I'd ask you to follow certain precautions. Will you heed all requests? And vouchsafe for your colleagues here? Them being unknown to us and all.
We'll mind our manners, Exemplar. I'll see to it.
Then, you may all proceed. You'll find Wilhelmina up the lift, 4th floor.
Welcome to Point Obviation.
Anchoress Brunn is continuing Anais' research from Winter's Grass. I'm sure of it. Best play along for now, until we can ascertain the best course of action.
She's got the right of it. There's far too many guards for us to take on alone.
Is that Marisol?
The endpoint herself. I thought she was a myth.
Let's be on our best behavior. Don't even breathe. This experiment seems a mite controversial, dangerous even, both in a physical and mathematical sense.
Your job is intimidation, not risk assessment. The Anchoress knows what she's doing.
Of course. Forgive me. I will look to math as a source of comfort rather than anxiety. Look, everyone! It's the endpoint. Come to join us, I take it.
I do have a unique interest in what you all are doing here.
I am a longtime vocal exponent of your work, Intercessor Delgado.
Yeah.
I hope you don't mind me saying. Go on up. You're expected.
Quite unusual, ain't it? How the Order treats their most respected mathematicians like Auntie treats her internees.
Oh, who's this? Oh, yes, I remember you. We met earlier at the site of my former seclusion. I've heard much of your exploits since. If I recall correctly, you helped prove Anchoress Chow's argument that violence is sometimes necessary. I admit I have modified my stance toward that more recently. I understand your actions led to Seer Wiley's unfortunate demise. Such a bright boy, such promise. And as for you, I've been informed that you're Marisol Delgado. I've read your file. An impressive body of work, though often quite mortiferously inclined.
Less so over time. There were too many pesky repercussions, I came to find.
Yes, well, to what do we owe the pleasure? Are you familiar with our goals? Come to join up, perhaps, or should I say re-enlist? It was more of a disputation as a scholarly objection than a manifesto per se, but why quibble? Anchoress Chow is very much against it. Her accident was quite tragic. You saw the disputation, though. Tell me, what did you think? You read it, yes? A truly unfortunate accident. I had posted my disputation and stated my intention to leave. We argued heatedly. Objects were thrown. She stumbled and fell badly. We try to honor her loss. Such tragedy only underlines the importance of our endeavors here. Each day the equation remains unsolved, countless more tragedies occur. We must succeed at the soonest possible haste. The longer the mistakes of our presiding bishop persist, the longer calamity and sorrow will continue. Our sect aims to end human suffering, sooner than later. We've taken great inspiration from your former department, from their methods and their science. To solve the universal equation in our lifetime requires bold action, clever calculation, and assiduous work. Yes, we have Grace, that is, Exemplar Southworth, to thank for that. Her visits to the anchor hold were quite thought-provoking, as was the research she showed me from Sia Bujold. Bujold's thinking was unconventional, ahead of her time. Why, in fact, she's here with us now today, overseeing an experiment that proves her researcher's theories.
Really? Seer Bujold is here, at present, in this facility? The one we're presently standing in?
Not long at all. We reached out to her on Cloister. She agreed to join us immediately. If you thought her work before was captivating, wait until you hear the experiment she's overseeing now. The intent is to represent the building blocks of the universe within a test chamber, then extrapolate data revealing the universal equation from the micro-universe that forms.
Sounds like it could change everything, one might say.
Why, you should go see for yourself. As former colleagues, I'm sure you'd like to reacquaint. Go on. I'll call down to let her know you're coming. Yes, she's monitoring the experiment. I'll have elevator access unlocked so you can join her. Do please stay in the observation area, though. The work is quite delicate. We'll speak further after you check over Sia Bujold's work and the experiment concludes. Oh, so exciting.
How much longer do you predict preparations will take?
Almost ready. Perfect timing for my former colleague to peer review my work. I'll press them to verify my settings. Thereupon, we will begin.
Splendid. While others pontificate, we act. I await word of our success with bated breath.
Head Intercessor Delgado, what an opportune time for you to appear. At the perfect moment to assist our experiment.
What in the endless void are you?
Shh. Comms off, but others are near. I need your aid before this ridiculous affair careens into disaster. Can I rely on you this time? Or will you already intend on scurrying away again? I came to derail this line of inquiry in such a discommodious way that no one would ever consider trying it again. For all the aforementioned reasons of it likely causing, or at least queuing up and leading to, the end of all things. You chose to leave me behind, again. So when they came calling, I thought it an opportunity to sort it all myself. Yet, admittedly, at this moment, I could use your assistance.
This shouldn't be your burden. It's on me.
You don't get to decide that. or adjudicate, or coolly comment in a steely growl. Not falling for that a 10th time. Help or stay out of my way. The test involves 4 stations. Each represents one of the fundamental building blocks of the universe. Zeranium gas, macro-ivs, nucleons, N-rays. All the usual stuff. That test chamber is where all are meant to mix. To simulate a mini-universe I can apply my theories to, pull data from, and deduce the universal equation in a reduced time frame. We know what happens if that's successful, so I need you to muck with each station's settings, then initiate the experiment. All you need to do is adjust each station's settings slightly. Things will cascade from there. Remember, subtlety is required.
Yes, if we alter the experiment input data in a less than delicate fashion, Brunn will notice, I assure you.
The guards on the 2nd floor won't appreciate visitors, so avoid getting spotted. Here's a maintenance key. Head down the vent. It's only the fate of the galaxy riding on it, so perhaps try to be careful.
Just what to do. Start the cycle, do-do-do. P and Q are true. If P is true, or Q.
I trust that is the sound of science going exceptionally well.
It's Fibonacci. A sequence largely summoned to preceding numbers gives us math that brings us wonders. Define recurrence relation, get us to sequence summation. It's Fibonacci. Path to ascendancy is known.
But that sounds dangerously unstable. Oh well.
Indelibly eradicate algorithms. May all solutions proceed. Indelibly eradicate algorithms. Hard to get in a good These constant permutations. Natural. Anyone else hear that? No? Just see. A sequence largely summoned to preceding numbers gives us math that brings us wonders. Define recurrence relation, get us to sequence summation. It's Fibonacci from ladder of an Archie. P is true, or Q is true. A simple truth table for turbulent times. My name's Hello. Now you know just what to do. Start the cycle. Do do do. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8.
Hostile ahead. What's the play, Commander?
It's Fibonacci, a sequence largely summoned to preceding numbers gives us math that brings us wonders. Define recurrence relation, get us to sequence summation. It's Fibonacci from Liber Abaci. Path to ascendancy is not. Tell them to eradicate algorithmic dissonance. Path to ascendancy is non-linear, so it says in the good textbook.
Something wrong back there? Hello?
May all solutions precede problems.
We've got company, Commander. The unfriendly kind.
Is what to do. Start the cycle. Do-do-do. Q are true. If P is true, or Q is true.
Anyone else hear that? No? Just take it down. I see.
It's Fibonacci, a sequence law. Hard to get in a good sleep cycle. These constant permutations upsetting everyone's natural rhythms. once largely summoned to preceding numbers gives us math that brings us wonders. Define recurrence relation, get us to sequencing. It's Fibonacci. May all solutions precede problems.
If you're done, evaluating my work and all settings are final, enter the terminal command to void the oxygen from the test chamber. The experiment will then begin. Commendable effort scrambling those settings.
It worked. Did it work? See, was it a success? What happened?
Hold the applause just yet. I need to run the numbers. I'm sending the others back up to you. They can describe the proceedings in detail.
I shall await their arrival. Anchor's Brun out. That is how these messages end, yes? If not, farewell.
The results of the experiment will be a career-ending embarrassment for Anchoress Brun. But she won't accept this lightly. We'll need to do more.
Yes, our next steps here will be crucial. I know this type of mission well. Granted, my targets were always meticulously well-researched beforehand.
You'll need to convince her, destroy her logic, end this research for good. All it requires is a forceful array of incisive argumentation, logical reasoning, coercive persuasion, and cognitive contortioning.
You mean one of our old brain-off maneuvers? Really? That's what the rank and file in our old department used to call it. Provost Bolding considered it a casual moniker unbefitting of an order scientician.
Make Brun give up on science, logic, and reason entirely. Then no one will ever dare continue the research again. Between you and Marisol, it should be a light challenge. Easy.
A brain-off against an order anchorite isn't entirely without risk. We could employ certain other methods to deal with her. From our former department's playbook.
Oh, yes, a book you wrote titled Making an Execution Look Like an Accident. Despite the moral quandary ideally involved, unseen consequences still abound.
That's hyperbolic at best. Data suggests significantly fewer unpredicted outcomes than outright murder, if properly executed. And I'm quite capable of skewing results in our favor.
And here I thought you'd begun to change.
I'm not arguing it's the best option, just that it is an option. Rightly or wrongly, I am familiar with the cost involved.
The Order of the Ascendant should be dedicated to uplifting humanity, not racking up a body count unduly. Our former department was shut down for things like this.
Seen folk wrestle with logic, but not box with logic. I'm ready for a show.
Seems reasonable. Appreciate you listening. Murder shouldn't be our first option here. Too many drawbacks, both mathematically and ethically.
Honestly, I'm relieved as well. I am. I have been trying to be different from the person others believe me to be.
From the legend? If you're retiring as the endpoint, we'll need to find you a colorful new sobriquet. Typical argumentation may prove useless, and she'll likely see through most attempts at deception. Be clever, unpredictable, surprise her. But in the event you should fail, you'll need a viable backup plan, or it will erase any chance of success completely. The Anchorus is housed in a test chamber similar to this one. It's been refurbished with some rather tacky furniture, but much of the old experimental apparatus remains. There is a hatch near the elevator upstairs. An external ledge leads to a vent system that can connect the two chambers. Doing so will expose the Anchorus to a lethal atmosphere. I'll need to make an announcement afterward that an accident has occurred tied into the experiment.
For an extemporaneous plan, it's not a bad one. What if the Anchorus realizes what we're doing and calls for help?
I'll cut off her comms when she begins pleading. Oh, that sounds even more heartless when I say it out loud. Please choose wisely. Here's the hatch key in case you need it. May all your endeavors elicit expected results. And Marisol, do keep out of trouble.
There you are. You saw the experiment through to the end, yes? The data hasn't arrived yet, so please do tell. Was it as beautiful as I imagined? Any inklings to the result? Or perhaps I oughtn't to have recloistered myself till after the experiment concluded, Well, don't just stand there. Tell me everything. Some issues? You seem like softening the blow. Was there a malfunction? Was there some error in the calculations? Wait. Let's start from the beginning. Step me through your understanding of what's gone awry. Really? In what way? These are all fundamental building blocks of the universe. Together, they form the primordial soup our galaxy was formed from. This is widely recognized in scientific circles. This was just a start. Such models typically make an enormous amount of errors at first. All quite expected. An anticipated setback, nothing more. It simply needs to be revised and refined. You certainly seem to be making a lot out of this, though, one must say. I miss her skepticalness and insight. If we could agree on a topic, there could be little doubt in its logic and rectitude. Look, there may be some validity to some of your points, yes, but we'll improve. We will continue to stride forward. There's absolutely no need for all this doom and gloom. Oh, is one of you a seer now? Because I put considerable more stock in the prognostications of the Order's prime mathematicians than I do any old run-of-the-mill soothsayer. Now, is that all? Because I think I've had enough of all this. Everything we've done here is built off Seer Bujold's research, which is quite brilliant. That's both incorrect and rather mean.
If you're done,
There you are. You saw the... Perhaps I oughtn't have reclosed some... Wait. Really? These are... This was... It simply needs to be... Look, there may be some validity to some of your points, yes. But... Oh, is one of you... Now, is that all? Because I think I've had enough of all this. Really? Will I become a laughingstock among my peers? Have the whispered jeers begun already? No. No, calm down. Breathe. You've faced setbacks before. Ah, the experiment data just arrived in my terminal. Allow me to eyeball it a moment. Perhaps there's something here to help prove or disprove any of what you've been saying. Everything seemed within acceptable parameters. No discernible variance. So why did it fail? Oh, come now. One bad test doesn't mean the science is completely flawed, does it? This has been a difficult conversation. Challenging, disputatious, at times compelling. Yet I remain unswayed.
If I may, I have a point I'd like to add. There's a critical flaw in Seer Bujold's approach I think best illustrated by this English phrase. Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana. I much appreciate this jest. Very simple, yet clever. Because in English, the word like can mean similar to or I prefer. And flies can be to soar, or plural of the insect. Through this perspective, it functions, makes sense, is humorous even. But in another language where words' meanings differ slightly, it does not. The framework we interpret the statement from changes, thus rendering it uninterpretable. False. Bujold's method of shortcutting the universal equation is much the same.
It lacks context. When you extrapolate the data from the mini-universe to the larger one, the information itself may scale correctly, but fail to interrelate. This little colloquy has proven rather arduous and, your points fail to... Wait. Considered as a whole... Damn it. No, I see it now. You are correct. We have obstinately and misguidedly blundered along here. The flaws in Bujold's research now seem apparent. Time for me to admit my errors. I'll need to inform everyone. Shut down research and operations. What will I do now? There's no place for me. Go. Leave me be.
Our work here is done, it seems.
Fellow scholars of the Order, this is Anchorus Brun with an unfortunate announcement. Our experiment today was a failure. Our line of inquiry has proven intrinsically flawed. I became dazzled by bold, captivating ideas and ignored bad science. I am hereby canceling all related research, shuttering the program, and resigning from the Order. If I have any final advice to impart to all of you, it is this: never follow your hearts.
I understand now why they say never meet your heroes, Intercessor Delgado. You've truly been an enormous disappointment. A key experiment fails and Anchorus Brun abandons vital research right after you and your consort arrive. And we are all to believe these events were unrelated?
That's circumstantial and more than a mite bit paranoid. I expect better from an Order scientician. Even one from the Department of Applied Scientism.
Don't think I don't see your handprints all over this, Delgado. It's her association with that department that has me suspicious here. Suppose you'll claim this was all just coincidence. A misaligned series of mishaps that simply appear to be your fault. You think I am predisposed to assume their logic is sound and reasoning impeccable? Perhaps I do defer in part where such intellects are involved. Yet, the greater facts of this matter remain unevinced, and I remain unconvinced. Are you done? I know you're to blame. I just wanted to see how far you were gonna take this. I can't believe Anchorus Brun fell for any of it. Fellow exemplars of the Order, commence hostilities!
Trouble ahead.
Progressing.
Back in business.
Dominating enemy.
Rescue. Sight unseen.
For a medic.
Tingling. All charged up.
Minimizing risk.
Thank you, Tim.
Grass raring to go.
Adversary vulnerabilities identified. You suffered a...
Happy to help. Discreetly. Let's get you healed. To the rescue. Sight unseen.
Thank you, Tim. They've been numb. Mitigating them.
Courage for captain. Calculating vengeance.
Unknown variable
Reducing enemy effectiveness.
Present coordinate field diminishing.
Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
Narrowing the
Let's get you healed.
Someone call for a medic.
Happy to help. Discreetly.
Re-engaging. Fortificator at ready. Deploying discombobulator.
current cover position deemed inadequate.
Adversary. Locking them down. Torpification in...
I am a possible contact.
Yeah. resorting to violence.
Regain.
Lost sight of target.
Oh, look who it is. The legendary former head intercessor of the Order. Another mission successfully completed. Made it through all that without a scratch, hmm? Glad to see. Here's a future I'd always hoped for. You listened. Didn't just rush in like, I am Marisol Delgado. I am always right, even when I'm wrong.
The credit or blame belongs to the commander here. It was their decision, ultimately.
You forget I know you. You always thought you knew better. No one could ever convince you of anything. Before, that is. Good to see. Maybe you are facing yourself.
There are a few things I'm still not used to saying. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Please. And thank you. But thank you, Anais.
At any rate, I'm off. You all take care now. Marisol, don't be too enigmatic or anything. Try. Before I forget. Meant to give you this earlier.
Oh, thank you, Anais. Goodbye. Oh, Brunn obviously murdered her. But you knew that. Perhaps it was an accident. Perhaps she simply wanted to knock Chow unconscious so she could sneak away. Or not. Indefinite immurement isn't for everyone. Even the finest minds may crack under the strain. But her canned, feigned concern about Chow, how she kept changing the subject, both belied an underlying sense of guilt to me. Oh, not really. Not yet, at any rate. Everything's a bit raw right now. But suppose I will be. Thank you, dear.
Might take some time for Marisol to see yet, but I reckon this was the best possible outcome. There's always another way. Now she knows that too.
Commander, it's customary to evaluate results after a mission of reasonable significance. Would now be good? I've had some time to cogitate over what occurred at Point Obviation. Some parts don't sit right with me still. Wonder if you and I might talk it through. A bit, yes. With the work I used to do, I'm no stranger to guilt and regret. Midway into my requisite sleep cycle is when it usually plagues me the most. With Anchoress Brunn, I know what we did was right. I know it saved lives. But we tricked her. Forced her to doubt her mind. You heard her. She's not just dissuaded. We broke her. And yet, such actions were par for the course for me in the past. When my remorse for Brunn rears its head, it will need to get in line. Yes, Southworth was complicit. And now she's dead. Well, one hopes. According to Anais, we greatly reduced the likelihood of that occurring. It's not zero, but completing the brain-off lowered the chance significantly. She seemed pleased that we listened to her concerns, so I've changed, apparently. Thanks to you. No. There's plenty of credit and blame to go around. It's been a while since anyone gave me a good talking to like Anais did. And I'll admit your influence has been rather positive. I'm pleased with the path I'm on now. I didn't think this is what the plan had in store for me. I've been facing myself with the same zeal I face my enemies. With tidier results. Appreciate you taking the time to talk it over, Commander.
Fizzos, fizzos, we love fizzos, fizzos, Spectrum Vodka.
And vastly rebetted through artificial... Tramicular, arriving any moment now.
Always remember, commercialism is the foundation that Auntie's Choice Society is based upon. Not because we worship, but because of the system's glorious efficacy.